Hey everybody, this is Gary the Vegan Carboraider, also known as Gary Carboraider. I'm back with another two-part video. First part, more about my health. I may have actually found the diet I've been looking for years, and now it's starting to make more sense. It also fits in with some of the advice I got in my last video, but that has to wait till next video because I got to do this one first. I'm backlogged again. So coming up here, I got a clip of Mark Tassi, who is a YouTuber similar to myself, a fruitarian who doesn't get a lot of views. So in this clip here, he was talking about DrewMorg. Drew was putting down Mark. It was a conversation they had in text. I don't know if it can be found anymore, because Mark says that Drew deleted his comments, but Drew says he didn't. Well, I think this is on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook, so his put down of Tassi was, remember I said we're similar, and you're going to hear here in this clip that it sounded like he was putting down my mental state. But finally, a criticism of me that isn't about my mental state. It's about my health and diet program. I've never had anybody challenge my program and lifestyle. But in that debate with Bart, yeah, a little bit. So here's the clip.
DrewMorg is kind of sitting on the fence whether or not to have me on his show. And I said, well, you know, when you decide, let me know. So yeah, I was going to do the show. And then he starts talking shit, like the reason that he's undecided because he's not quite sure if I'm insane or not. You know, he thinks maybe I'm just another Gary Carboraider. So now he's comparing me with Gary Carboraider. So he goes on to say, well, you're both at about the same level of physical degeneration. Like, whoa, wait a minute. Put on the brakes, old man. So I challenge him to a ride to the top of Mount Baldy. You know, if I'm so physically degenerated, you know, show me that. You know, you need to put up or shut up. You should be easily able to ride to the top of Mount Baldy before me. If I'm so physically degenerated, I'm 25 years your senior, this should be a cinch for you.
So he's calling me physically degenerated. Well, what exactly does he mean by that? Because, well, he hasn't gotten back to me, hasn't talked to me. I did have some debate with one of his followers in his comment section. Now, I have some health issues, but when people say we have physical degeneration, are they only saying that because we're thin? And when you associate it with veganism, it warps their view. Has he compared us to some previous pictures? I'd like to know more. I'd like to hear more from him. So anyway, this debate I was having with some guy, he said, we look unnaturally skinny. I took exception to the word unnaturally. Yeah, that word again. And he says, most vegans have this look. He's ignoring all the non-vegans who have that look. And that's what happens when you're biased. So I came along and said, but what are you comparing us to, those thin vegans? Are you comparing them to most people? Or average people, because most people are eating unnaturally. There's that word again. They're eating a modern, processed, cooked, fast food diet. So your view is distorted when you look at those people as being normal just because they're the majority. To say what is unnaturally skinny, you need to compare them with a natural-sized person. How does a person know what that is? That's a question for everybody out there. How do we know what is a natural look? So I'll be awaiting Drew's response. And next video is the new diet that I'm going to get into.
So anyway, that's where it stands.
Now for part 2 of this video. Last video's part 2 was about Trump. Well, this is not going to be about him, even though we now have this peak of people calling for impeachment now. I say we should wait till Monday at least. We've waited this long, can wait 3 more days, because tomorrow, Friday, the world's going to be distracted. We don't want distractions. Tomorrow, something else is about to hit the fan. That's my prediction. It will appear as if the Disney company will have the whole world under the spell of a mind trick. A Jedi mind trick. No, the new Star Wars movie doesn't come out till December. But that's just a movie. Tomorrow, it becomes real.
Knowing we were the first people to experience this, I could not sleep last night.
Do you know what we're going to see in a minute?
And yesterday, I happened to see something that very few people saw live, but they're now pouring into that video, a live video yesterday. Luke Skywalker, live, standing in front of a real Millennium Falcon at Disneyland. Now, I'm not a real big Star Wars fan. I have nothing Star Wars to show you here, but I'm a big Disneyland fan. I know that place really well, and I know that this is a huge deal, not a big deal. This is huge. It's historic. This rarely happens on this level.
An absolute privilege. I cannot put it into words.
I even pressed this button where it goes super speed.
Punch it, Cora!
I got to press it 2 times.
Star Wars: Galaxy's Edge.
I was there for the opening day of Indiana Jones back in 1995, and that was considered big, because that was a really big ride. But this is something different. This is amazing. I'm surprised that they have done this.